podcast. My name is Naysan Sahba, a junior councillor at the Lusaka City Council, and I'm joined by special guests. First of all, I would like to introduce Mr. Naysan Sahba, the Director of Global Communication from UNICEF. Sir, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well, Innocent. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Alright, and I'm also joined by my fellow junior councillor and WDC chairperson, Christine Kazonte. Christine, how are you doing today?
Fine, and how are you, Innocent?
I'm fine. And I'm joined by Public Health Officer, Mrs. Recheal Tembo. Madam, how are you doing?
I'm okay, how are you?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, so today we've got a very interesting session. We're going to be talking about the cholera crisis as well as the severe drought that has affected us. So just a brief insight into cholera. Cholera usually starts in Zambia from October to June. And we've seen that cholera mainly affects children under the age of 15. We have 48% of cholera affecting children under the age of 15. So I feel like cholera is one of the major issues that has faced Zambia. And Lusaka being its epicenter means that it's going to spread rapidly because it's a capital city, obviously. And then we also have got severe droughts that have also affected us as a nation. And once we do not have water, we understand that we do not have power. And I've recently heard that over 1 million hectares of maize have been affected due to the severe droughts, as well as 6 million people being affected by food insecurity due to the drought. So you, Christine, you've been on the ground, you know what's going on. So maybe you could just tell us the impact that the drought and cholera will have on obviously the rights of the child and as the nation at large.
Thank you very, very much, Innocent, for that question. As a junior councillor at Lusaka City Council, I have witnessed firsthand of the severe impacts of the drought and the cholera outbreak on the rights of a child. The first right being affected is the right to health. Of course, we all know to say that health is very important for a child and for a child to grow. With cholera dehydrates the human body, making the person very weak and also risk them of dying, of which it's a 70 to 30% chance of them being alive. And as a child, if my health is compromised, it means it also disrupts my education, as I would not attend class until I'm better. And it also causes stigma, of which cholera is a very stigmatic disease. And children can be very harsh and very beautiful, because they'll be like, you want to, and it will shrink my level of association. Because they'll be like, you want to associate with her? She had cholera. What if she still has cholera? Of which it's very, very stigmatic, and it will reduce my levels of association and also my performance in school. Also affecting education. And with drought, with the water sources drying up, it's very difficult for hygiene facilities to operate. And mostly when it comes to a girl child is mostly affected, because they have to keep clean at all times. And also, I would say in terms of the drought, there is a scarcity of food insecurity. And for a child to grow, they need food. And not only food, but a balanced diet. So it means we need to have variety of food for the children.
Right. That was very captivating insight. But let me also get some insight from you, Mr. Naysan Sahba. I heard you recently visited Southern Province, where you've seen the first-hand impact of the drought and maybe cholera. Maybe you'd like to elaborate on what you saw in Southern Province?
Yes, it's been really a pleasure to be in Zambia and have the opportunity to witness firsthand the impacts of the drought. As you say, we got to spend a couple of days in Southern Province, got to go to Monse, see the incredible work that the government of Zambia and its many partners are doing to kind of mitigate the impacts of drought in terms of the nutritional status of children, especially the youngest children, especially children from the most vulnerable families. These are families that really subsist on what they grow, and the drought has this harvest season, really devastated those crops. We had a chance to visit a lead farmer in the Sun 2 program at a center of excellence in a village in southern province where, Euvemia, the farmer, told us that her 2-hectare farm that usually can yield 350 kilo bags of maize, this year has yielded 250 kilo bags of maize, which her family has already consumed. And so, to Christine's point, that is a kind of creates an acute hunger challenge, it acutes an acute challenge in terms of the nutritional balance for children, and it's then compounded by a range of other issues around access to water, both for drinking, for sanitation, for hygiene, access to education, a range of things as pressures are put on families to cope and to survive, to find other alternative means to put food on the table, especially for the youngest of children.
Yeah, I think that was very insightful. But your work with UNICEF, what is UNICEF doing to promote the rights of the child, saying that this crisis has hit us significantly? Yes, maybe you would like to shed more light on that?
Sure, that's a great question. I mean, both globally and here in Zambia, UNICEF really has multiple mandates. It's unique in a way in having that. It has a kind of a normative agenda, a child rights mandate, working closely as a custodian of the conventional rights of the child. It has a humanitarian mandate, so when crises like the drought or like cholera hit, it immediately steps in to work with partners, to work with government, to mitigate the impacts and ensure that there's adequate supplies, adequate kind of behavior change communication, adequate messaging, adequate frontline support to mitigate the effects as much as we can to stabilize the situation. It also has a development agenda. So really the ideal scenario, the sustainable scenario, is to put in place the programs, the child-focused initiatives around nutrition, around health, around protection, around water and sanitation, to ensure that there's resilience in the system, especially now as we combat climate change, so that these systems actually are meeting in a consistent way and are prepared to meet crises, meet floods, meet droughts as and when they come. And we also have an advocacy mandate, and that's where really the power of young voices working with the amazing kind of partners like our junior youth council members, youth advocates, youth reporters across the country, and they really have a global voice as well, becomes very important to kind of ensure that these systems, these programs, government initiatives, stakeholders are really adequately investing in these longer term programs to ensure that we are able to combat the effects of climate change. We know that climate change is changing children, so our programs need to change to be more responsive and ensure that the rights of children are not forgotten as we consider how to cope.
With this crisis that the country is currently facing, I'm sure we can sleep safe knowing that UNICEF is doing their level best in in helping us. But not only UNICEF, we're here with Madam Recheal from Public Health. Yeah, there's a lot that the Lusaka City Council as well as the Junior Council have also been doing in the fight against the drought and cholera. Maybe you'd like to share more light on that one, Madam Recheal.
Yeah, sure. So, Lusaka City Council, through the Department of Public Health, we have the mandate to protect the public and prevent diseases. And cholera being one of these diseases, we have been conducting quite a number of activities, from awareness raising, enforcement. You know what causes cholera? It's dirt, yeah? So we need to ensure that the city is clean, and that is through ensuring that systems with regards to waste management are in place, and also just to create awareness that people don't eat poop, or maybe they should wash their hands, so you understand. So those are some of the activities that we have been doing. But the gap that we had realized, looking at the many challenges that the communities are facing out there, was the voices of young people. So hence we came up with the Junior Council program, whereby we could see how best we could involve the young people in decision-making processes. So this Junior Council program is a political structure where these young people from schools, they volunteer to lead others in planning, execution of various problems that are affecting them in their wards. So this Junior Council come from school. So once they sit as a team, They discuss what challenges, how best can we help government, how best can we help our communities. So they bring forth those ideas to the council through us as the officers, then we forward them to the senior management, which is the senior councillors. So that's it, how we've tried to incorporate the young people's voices. And with regards to the drought, as the council, we work with various partners. So we are also we have the education cluster, which is led by Ministry of Education, which has a lot of different partners. And in that forum, we have various activities and plans to ensure that we protect that young child from food insecurity, from any issues that can affect the girl child or the boy child from school. So that is one platform that we are using to ensure that we're educating the masses on the early warning systems, not just to educate, but to ensure that they actually have a plan in case of no food in the next 3 to 5 months. What is going to be the plan? What are they going to do? You understand? So, and also through that cluster, we have different partners like UNICEF. We also have Ministry of Education. We have Save the Children. So all these come together to see how best we can work together and protect that young child. So those are some of the things that we're working on.
Well elaborated. Yeah. So Christy, any remarks, anything that you'd like to add?
No.
Okay.
I've had the information. The only thing I can do is put whatever I've heard and learn it into practice, and also to sensitize my fellow young people out there.
Right. I feel that's very important. Sir, your closing remarks, what would you like the viewers to take away from this very engaging session that we've had?
Thank you so much, Innocent. I mean, I'm really inspired by the comments and the clarity of my fellow panelists here. So not much to add other than, again, you know, every Zambian child has the right to health, the right to equality, the right to clean water, the right to education, the right to protection. And these crises like drought, like cholera, like food insecurity, food poverty, threaten those rights, and it becomes all of our responsibilities. It becomes our moral imperative to join hands and work together to ensure that those rights are never compromised. Because if those rights are compromised, the future of Zambia is compromised. These children represent the future leaders, the future innovators, the future entrepreneurs, the future school teachers of the country, of the world, of the planet. And so everything we can do to ensure that we can advance and uplift their condition, make sure they can survive and thrive, we must and we surely can do.
An engaging segment that we've had. So to the viewers at home, I'm sure you can sleep safely knowing that all the issues that have been spoken about are being worked on. And let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and we'll be able to get back to you. Thank you very much, and hoping to see you on the next episode of the Youth Erudite podcast.
Lovely.